All right, we are joined this afternoon by Danielle. So before we get started, Danielle, just want to introduce myself to our listeners. So I'm Eleanor, one of the clinicians here at the TMS Hub. And you've been hanging out with us now for 35 days, so to speak. Today was the last day.
Yes, that's right. It's exciting.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, Danielle.
It's Danielle, Danny for short. I'm 48 years old. I have a very long history of anxiety and depression stemming from complex PTSD, diagnosed as a teenager. Treatment resistant mostly, vast majority of my life. Various medications and other interventions, talk therapies. So it's fairly treatment resistant, the sort of mental health issues that I have.
And so what made you decide to give TMS therapy a go or a chance?
I have an excellent GP who's a functional health doctor who suggested it in the first place.
Okay.
And then I had another, a very close friend of mine actually come here just a few weeks prior to me. She finished TMS.
Okay.
She was getting some really excellent outcomes from
that's
TMS,
good to hear,
in terms of her anxiety and depression symptoms. She also has misophonia, complex PTSD, similar background to mine in terms of the trauma. And she was raving about it, so I thought I really have to try it.
Oh, wow. It just worked out for you then, right? That it was a recommendation from your GP and a real That's awesome. That's awesome. So then when you started TMS, how often did you come in for TMS?
So pretty much every day.
Yeah.
There were 3 occasions I wasn't able to make it. A couple of times due to feeling unwell. Another time I just had another conflict in my schedule.
Yeah.
But other than that, I was coming in daily.
Yeah. And do you find that with the TMS treatment, it's easy to, if you're like a working professional or have to fit it into your life?
Absolutely.
Like that you've had?
It was incredibly easy. My schedule's pretty flexible. I work for myself.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, reception's excellence of scheduling appointments. It was never difficult. Excuse me.
It's okay.
To get in. And I had a level of flexibility as well, as I said. So if reception needed somebody else, there was a conflict. Somebody else needed to come at that time. They couldn't make it. So there were a few times where I was able to juggle my time around and come early or later. That's
so good to hear. Now, have you noticed any changes in symptoms or any improvements in symptoms?
Yeah, I've actually noticed a fairly significant improvement without the terrible side effects medication can have. Sleep is one of the biggest ones I noticed. For the neurovegetative symptoms, the exhaustion, the inertia, lack of motivation, the generally depressed mood, I have noticed a significant improvement in those things, probably by at least 50%, which I think is pretty enormous considering this is one of many other interventions.
Definitely.
It's definitely yielded the best results of anything else I've tried. I will say at the same time, I noticed the most benefits probably about halfway through
the treatment,
and I sort of plateaued off after then. But I consider other factors that are unique to my situation, which are I'm in perimenopause. There's certain times in my cycle I know I understand. And the other side of that too is my last blood test showed just before I started the TMS that I was low in T4. Ramo suggested and the psychiatrist suggested don't have that treated yet, so that the treatment effects of TMS rather than knowing that it's
something to do with T4.
But I do get the fatigue symptoms, but they're not as generalised as they were before in terms of affecting my mood as profound. There's been a big shift there.
That's awesome.
From the treatment. But definitely say the left side, treating the left side yielded the most improvements, and I feel that perhaps slowed down a little bit when we started treating the right side. I was just getting some really good cumulative benefits from coming in every day and having the left side treated. So now I know that moving forward. If I come in for the top up in 4 months, and even if I just choose to pay for some sessions myself in the interim, I know that the left side is more beneficial for you.
I'm so happy for you that you've noticed a significant improvement in comparison to just other interventions that you used in the past.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm very sensitive to medication.
Yeah.
To sort of take that into account through my life in terms of taking medications and getting dosages. I've had some pretty terrible outcomes from really strong medications. 3 years ago, I took an accidental overdose of Panadol.
Oh, wow.
And my kidneys and liver shut down. And
that's right.
It was highly traumatic.
Yeah.
I've been able to come off that medication in the past few years. I'm off all pain medications now.
That's phenomenal.
And certainly treating the anxiety and depression has really helped with that process. It's made me feel that I have that sort of self-efficacy, that in my ability to be able to cope with it without needing any additional props to help manage pain.
Yeah.
So
wow, that's so good. Yeah, that's so good to hear. So I know we just talked about all this, the improvements and things that you've experienced in with TMS therapy as a whole. What do you think of it?
I think it's an extremely exciting, treatment in the whole realm of mental health issues. It's quite new, and I think I'm very encouraged that the Australian government has seen fit to invest.
That's right.
Because the rest of the world was catching up now to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
I think it's going to get to a stage where perhaps the research will show it helps a lot of other things as well.
Yeah, not just
anxiety, depression.
Yeah,
but,
I think there's some
OCD, misophonia, maybe
pain even. Yeah,
pain,
fibromyalgia. Which is coming. Yeah, so there's a lot. It's like a wide open, I don't know, space maybe, like a space for other things to be treated in this with TMS, so which is quite encouraging.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I like the science of it because it's very much based on particle and energy theory, and I think that is the future of mental health treatments. I really do.
Yes.
It's exciting.
It is exciting
to witness the changes.
Yeah, and be part of it as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And get to participate in that.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. It is. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this afternoon on your very last day with us. We'll miss you, but we hope to see you in...
well, you will see me again.
Yes. And we wish you all the best until we see you again next time.
Thank you very much. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you.